Show me Griffin? I think that's what that...
Let's show something, Griffin.
Okay, I was almost there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they do have an early game jungler, so that could allow them to show us something much more quickly in this game.
Really hard for Griffin to realistically stabilize. There's a lot of reallys right there, but
yeah,
Aatrox, Xin Zhao, Corki, Xayah, and Rakan, they're going to have a bit of difficulty stabilizing, and honestly, their lanes just don't quite go toe-to-toe. Even if there is a bit of a scaling component, I'm going to give the draft win to Afreeca.
Well, see whether they can pilot it to a victory in game number 3. Okay. Ooh, it's a sunny day. And Runeterra, not going to get the LCK logo up there, just want to bask in the glorious weather that we're having here at Summoner's Rift. Dread moving on over. Old school skin choice there as well. The original released skin. Like it a lot.
What would you give it on a scale 1 through 10?
The Elise skin?
Yeah.
Solid 8.3. Chovy gonna get first CS. Evened out in the mid lane by Yuka.
Nothing to say to you there. Isn't this like sort of animal abuse, by the way, the Corki skin?
Riding on the Corgi?
I can't wait until PETA tries to attack Riot like they did Nintendo.
I mean, we just found out that Keen is also wearing a fur coat as well, so there is a conspiracy.
Yeah, there's... I'm gonna have to storm Area 51.
I think so. We're gonna
keep this
have
up.
you been practicing your Naruto run? Have you been working on it?
That's why I didn't use the UFO Corki skin. You didn't want to be too obvious.
Yeah, that's true, that's true. Doesn't want to tip them off. We are in South Korea, though, so it's going to make it...
That is true.
It's a difficult commute going over there to try and infiltrate Area 51.
All right. Well, in this game, Xin Zhao starting off on his red buff, moving up into the golems. Now, Dread, he starts on blue before pathing down immediately into red. Probably wants to get very aggressive early on, rely on rubber band camps to keep himself inside of the game. And he's going to want to make sure that he's going aggressive, getting his laners advantages, because if everyone just casually glides into the mid game, the Afreeca team composition is really, really bad. But they have so much leverage in every single lane, as well as the jungle. They can really get stuff going. Now, Senin and Aiming botched the bottom lane a little bit. Current lane state is not that great for the Elise unless they're going to convert the priority into a scuttle, or unless Lehens and Viper make a mistake.
Well, taking some poor trades here on the bottom side are the Afreeca Freecs. As Dread moves over, he's swept this, knows that he's unseen. The Griffin have the lane in a really nice spot for them, able to stay on their side of the river. Now trying to push up. There's the flash taunt. They're going to be able to land it. The Cocoon comes in as well, and Dread just snaps up first blood super easily.
Tarzan's going to have to look on in horror, as now he's going to have to most likely concede both Scuttle Crabs. Although Chovy, wow, a smite though being used.
Yep, now the chicken camp is going to go in favor of Dread, and then he moves topside, grabs that Scuttle. Tarzan going to try and book it up there also.
Oh, yep, they'll know about where he is at, and they'll know what path he's going to end up following, as Elise actually made a quick pit stop at the Raptor camp. A little bit surprising she didn't just run straight over towards the left-hand side Scuttle.
You saw the pings actually on exactly where Tarzan was, so making that decision for themselves, figuring things out. Taunt comes down, Lehens Battle Dances out of the way. He's going to be fine. Aiming taking a bit of chip damage here, and he's out of mana, but he wants to teleport back to the lane relatively soon. We'll have that opportunity. Right now, 2 CS in the lead, but Griffin will be able to shove this wave forward, pick up a bunch of farm before they potentially go for their own reset. Viper has the cleanse and not the TP, so slight advantage.
No smite.
All right, Sword is going to be able to take the Rift Scuttler though. That's some good adaptation coming out from Griffin, making sure that that double Scuttle wasn't actually available.
Yeah, Sword getting it is really good, and you can take a look at this. And
the CC bar, man, was always there.
And that's part of the error that I was talking about that Viper and Lehens could make. The wave was coming into them. They had a cannon, they had several minions. They didn't need to CS it as rapidly as they did because Tarzan, he had his jungle camps to eat. There was no reason, and realistically, they weren't in a lane state to get priority established and have Tarzan get right inside Scuttle. So they did make an error in the lane, and Dread was there to capitalize on it. End up giving away first blood.
Well, checking in on this mid lane. I thought Yukao was going to miss that Mantrid Q, but does find it there onto Chovy as he's able to push the minion wave back. But 51 to 51, very, very even. And the conspiracy continues. We're both mid laners backing 51 CS. You got to check those seats, LS, because they might be on their way to Nevada right now.
Is that what's happening?
Yeah, I'm in 51.
Ridiculous.
I know. We're looking for our Athenes on Yukao's side once again. Athenes Luden seems to be his way of playing out this Karma. And Dread's been a little bit quiet, but he's stayed up as far as the jungle camps are concerned. Agatha available. Otherwise, no other camps are there. And
he's looking for Bertha right now, though.
Yeah, that's the prior. All right.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, junglers are going to spot one another. Cocoon is going to save Dread, but the flash in. Repel going to be used, just buying time. Flashes over the wall, great knock-up comes in. Lehens is going to be able to grab that kill. So many summoner spells burnt from the support and from the jungler that are able to equalize the kill score.
And so they equalize the kill score, but they also relieve so much pressure for themselves on all of the lanes. So Griffin, not really in that bad of a spot right now. Keen,
he dodged literally everything.
Yeah.
Absolutely everything.
He's so agile in that fur coat.
It must be. It just must give him a lot of room to maneuver.
Yeah.
Soft fur coat.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely fake. You know, it's probably spandex.
What?
Spandex fur.
What if he stole it from this Chovy's Corgis? What if that's what it's from? What if it's not Zyre and Rakan that he took it from?
I don't know, man. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to think about corgi fur. Corgis are too adorable. Can't have this conversation. Normally, I'm happy to go down the rabbit hole with you, but I will not go anywhere where there's possible talk of mistreatment of corgis. Look at this. Look at its butt. It's just the best.
This is one of the best skins Riot has ever made.
Absolutely.
It really is.
Absolutely. Meowkai and the Corgi. Two of the absolute best. I like that we've got good dog representation and good cat representation on both sides. As our grand entrance comes down, very tanky Galio though, so they're actually going to lose out on that trade, aiming able to offer a lot back. And see, he's doing great as far as farm is concerned, ahead by about 10. But Viper and Lehens are just looking to scale, looking to get themselves into a good position. And the Afreeca Freecs haven't been able to quite find their inroads that they've been looking for. Remember game number 1, it was also slow, but a lot of turret plates going over to Afreeca in that instance. Not happening this time. And in fact, if you have a look at the top side, both summoners available for both players, and it's actually a slight CS advantage coming into the Sword.
And the interesting thing here as well is Dread has played the early game relatively safe, given how the first blood unfolded, how everything ended up occurring. He's taken a lot of routes that allowed him to keep up and farm, but it comes at a cost of, sure, his laners are going even or even winning in some CS departments, but the issue that he's facing is the team composition error. Not error, but
good timing though. He's going to get the boot back. Sword with the World Ender. Dread trying to scuttle his way forward, but Shock Blast is going to land. Keen almost getting the solo kill by himself, which is exactly how you get a solo kill. Flashes are going to be traded, and Sword's going to have to teleport back to this lane.
Chovy most likely going to have to teleport back into mid as well, unless he has a package. The call is halfway done. Does he have a package? He's I think he's mounting, right?
First package is at 5 minutes now, or is that next package? Confused, aiming.
Yeah, he definitely
not going to get hit by anything right now. Takes a lot of A lot of damage, but he's going to be able to offer a lot back as there's the teleports. Tarzan should be going down here. Had the ultimate, but it's not going to save him. True Shot Barrage comes in, does get the smite on the Rift Scuttler as Keen is desperate to pick up this kill, and the package gets the slowdown, and the Xin Zhao is able to walk away.
Elise is chasing after Aatrox right now up in top lane.
Clears out that minion wave quite nicely, and this is Afreeca just trying to put everything back together after investing so much and not actually getting anything on that bottom side.
It was a very peculiar sequence of events as Shelly now, Elise is going to take out her rage on her.
Yeah, they should be able to grab this one as well. Ping's coming in. Keen going to lend a hand to the Elise. Viper taking some poke, as you can see, Aiming's put together a whole bevy of his items that he wants to complete. The Sheen being done means that he's able to at least pressure Lehens and Viper back in this lane. Not ahead by too much, but this will allow Keen to have that advantage that we've been talking about if Shelly's immediately utilized there. So 10.5 minutes into this game, the plates still available to be taken. In fact, 5 plates up there. Top side, Dread's going to utilize a pretty quick back, and then he's going to go drop Shelly off in one of these lanes to pick up the crockery.
Let's take a look at this. There's wards to the north of Viper that could have been used as a means to slow them down, especially because Sennen was so close in proximity. If Griffin stopped to actually kill any of the members, it would have resulted in more deaths. And so, Keen, you can just, he's really angry.
He is really angry. That package was not the delivery that he was waiting for.
No, it wasn't.
That is, you've got the wrong house. I don't need that extra kitty litter. Something like that.
That feels bad, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's like now I've got way too much kitty litter, and there is a cat in my building that now does not have access.
What if you have a dog and they drop off kitty litter? That doesn't make any sense.
It's extraordinarily bad.
Yeah.
Disaster. And maybe your dog's going to get upset as well because you've got kitty litter, and it's like, why?
Why?
And your dog
then it starts getting anxiety.
Questions. Yeah, exactly. Because it's like, are they going to change to be cat people now? Like, what am I doing? Am I being made redundant in my own household? It's terrible. You don't want to have your dog feeling like that.
Yeah.
Especially not if he's a corgi.
Oh man.
Yeah.
And now I'm sad.
I'm sorry.
I just thought about that whole series of events, and
yeah, it was an unfortunate.
Yeah, I'm welling up a little bit right now.
Well, we can focus back on the game, which might make you a bit more happy because 2 seconds time, and the Infernal Drake is going to be spawning. So congratulations. This is going to be a relevant dragon in this series.
They're posturing for it right now. They're going to be the first ones off the recall, and Viper doesn't have teleport, so he's stuck on these items. He's missing half of his HP, half his mana. And Griffin, they're just going to have to give this up.
Yep, not going to be doing anything here. With Chovy without teleport and a long way away, no package. Yeah, not going to be able to get there to defend. So Freecs, both Drakes, going over to them. 800 gold is their lead right now. The Lovers duo are going to go back together. And the Afreeca Freecs keep pushing. Shelly was utilized on the bottom side of the map, only got a couple of plates, as we are less than a minute away from those plates falling down. And the Jace, importantly for Griffin fans, absolutely no plates gained on the top side and complete CS parity between these two players.
And it's against Keen's Jace as well. So definitely a little bit of a surprising turn of events here.
Yeah. And this isn't a surprise, though. Dread does land the Cocoon. Chovy, no cleanse, but is actually just able to Valkyrie away. Not enough follow-up there to make sure that the Corki goes down.
14 minutes is the current game timer, and honestly, I gotta say that Afreeca, yeah, they have the Infernal Dragon, but they didn't get the kind of advantages that they needed coming out of early game. So the edge is going to be in Griffin's favor for the mid-game team fights, and with an open dragon coming up next, it's not that exciting and not going to definitely shift anything significantly into Afreeca's favor.
Yep, and also, you know, Griffin are looking for 3 items on their Corki and their Xayah, and then they're happy just to go in and team fight you. And they should be able to get this one done. settling in for a pretty long game is an understandable thing to think about because Griffin haven't been playing very fast. So far, one turret plate actually going down on the top side of the map for Sword. So he had the turret plate lead. Dread not going to be able to find any joy. On the bottom side, another package picked up from Chovy. Look at those bones. Adorable.
What bones?
That's in the package. Little doggy treats.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, look at the doggy treats.
Hold on, let me get a little closer to the monitor.
Yeah.
Can't see in one eye, Atlas.
I know. You got to check out the corgi tweets.
All right.
Corgi treats.
Treats. Okay.
Why it's so difficult to say words.
What kind of treats do you think it is?
Little biscuits.
Yeah.
Little like doggy biscuits, you know, to make sure that their teeth stay healthy.
Okay.
Crucial Barrage, high value there from aiming. Diving forward, looks for Viper. Gonna land the extra autos onto Lehens here. Battle Dance going to be available once again, and he is able to get out. But Griffin fully pressured away from this outer turret bottom side.
And the CS deficit in mid lane is quite large. Every other lane is relatively even, so the gold score at the top, not all that surprising.
Whoa, that's a dangerous back, but one that Lehens isn't going to get punished for.
Yeah, we're playing ping pong in every lane right now.
Yeah?
You know, ping pong, for some reason, it is growing a lot in popularity here.
Really?
Great. Yeah, I'm seeing advertisements for it everywhere. At least up in Incheon.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, it's very strange.
I know it's quite popular in China. There's a lot of like outdoor ping pong tables. They often have like parks and things like that. I think there's a few of those here in Korea as well.
Okay.
I haven't played ping pong for a very long time. Used to have a ping pong table back.
Really?
Yeah, back in the day.
At your house?
Yeah.
You're one of those kids.
I was one of those kids. I used to play a bit of tennis as well, and I found ping pong was way better because you didn't have to run around as much.
Okay, so you're lazy.
Yeah.
All right.
Some things never change. Griffin looking to steal away this blue buff. Should be able to get that one done. Senin, though, looking for this taunt. Doesn't get it. No dice there. And I believe the blue buff was secured. Went over to the Corki, in fact. So didn't even need to worry about smiting it. And Afreeca are looking for inroads. They're trying to change the state of this game, trying to find inroads to get pressure, but seems to be that Griffin often has the answers. Outer turret now getting sieged. Bottom outer had already fallen down. That's why we see Afreeca with a slight gold advantage.
Well, it's just so hard for Afreeca to do anything at this point in the game because realistically they can't just bulldoze through a turret. They're caught out right now.
Yeah, double taunt is going to come in. Teleports coming forward from Afreeca. They don't want anything to go wrong here as aiming over the wall. Chovy gets to the relative safety of his outer turret, and Griffin successfully disengaged.
It does come at the expense of a teleport, and now they're going to be able to turn their attention towards this top tier 1.
Yep.
Not getting the Scuttle Crab, actually just walked right by its spawn.
Yeah, wanted to make sure that the counter push in mid was unavailable. Comes in, Viper's not able to have a minion wave in order to get some damage onto that outer. You can understand exactly why he made that decision. Does mean that Xin Zhao is able to scoop up the Rift Scuttler. Keen takes down a control ward. Checks out this Dragon Pit. Is exactly right. Wind becomes lightning. And I believe Griffin should be able to take this without too much contest. Easily done. Senin poking his head in as Dread looking for a potential cocoon. Doesn't find it.
Now Afreeca gonna turn their attention towards the middle lane as an Infernal Dragon is spawning.
Yeah, decent dragon to come up next. Lehens was waiting in position to potentially get a flank. They're not deciding to pull any triggers just yet. Infinity Edge away from Chovy being a real menace as Sword pops the World Ender, gets the hell out of there. Not able to take down this bottom outer turret. The lull state.
The lull state is in true effect. Hold on, let me pull up some. I have a list for this. Hold on.
All right, go.
Yeah, have you seen the new Spider-Man?
Yeah, I just saw it last night, actually.
Did you actually?
Yeah.
I'm supposed to see it tonight.
All right.
But I might not.
Yeah, we might be having a late one. I actually went to a really late session last night. It was actually pretty cool. Yeah.
How was it?
It was great. I actually really enjoyed it. This was I didn't have a lot of high expectations because I wasn't that much of a fan of Homecoming. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I never saw Homecoming.
Well, you're gonna have to.
I also never went to my Homecoming. I never went to any school dance.
All right. Yeah, I went to one.
Tell me,
went to my
was it even about a dance?
I don't remember doing much dancing.
No, I mean Spider-Man Homecoming.
No, there was no dance.
There was no dance?
I actually don't remember. It was a long time.
Would you like to dance?
I'd like to. Yeah,
we're casting right now, Atlas. Come on.
I mean, we could still dance. Nothing to stop us from dancing. Have you seen Footloose? You try and stop the kids from dancing, and it's a disaster. Can't do that. They'll rebel against you.
So how good is the new Spider-Man? 1 through 5.
1 out of stars?
Yeah.
I'd probably give it. I'd give it a 4. I'd give it a 4. 4 out of 5. Okay. It is really good. It's really wholesome. I really like the actress that plays MJ in this iteration of Spider-Man is fantastic.
Okay. Now
really
I'm looking forward to it. You've really built it. You've really sold me on it.
I like the human aspect of it rather than the superhero aspect. I thought like the actual character development in this particular one was good, which
now
is not something you often say.
I'm really looking forward to it. All righty.
And we're going to have a chat next Sunday about it, and you can be like, I hated it. I thought it was trash.
I'm going to message you as I'm watching it, actually.
Give me the play-by-play.
Yeah,
this could be your chance to give me the play-by-play.
I'm going to tell you when the movie's in a lull state.
All right.
Actually, you know what? When the movie's in the lull state, I'll start talking to you about League of Legends.
Yeah, perfect. There we go. We've come full circle. Well,
man.
I mean, the outer turret in the mid lane went down, LS. So, there we go.
Character development.
Yeah,
right?
Beautiful. Viper's got 2 items. Chovy very close to 2 items as well. Feels like when you pick up the Sorcerer's Shoes, it feels like an extra item actually for the Corki. There's a lot of extra damage with a bit of Magic Pen. You can see top side of the map. He's going to go home, and that should be Infinity Edge. Yeah, sitting on 1400, and that's a very scary Corki.
That is that dog is,
and he's got a hell of a lot of farm. 266 at close to 22 minutes is relatively impressive. Are you impressed?
I like that. I mean, I really like the recall animation.
That's
very chunky corgi. Yeah, that's what I was paying attention to. I wanted to see how the dog did his tricks.
Well, I mean, the dog now has a pretty fancy golden sword.
You're a Final Fantasy guy, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you know, yesterday I was
somewhat of a Final Fantasy guy. Like, I haven't played all of it.
Have you played 3?
I have played 3, yeah.
Okay.
I really like the job system in 3. Played the remake on the DS.
Wait.
Continue.
3, Super Nintendo 3.
Yeah, Super Nintendo 3 that got re-released on Game Boy Advance.
Okay.
So
you know Setzer.
Setzer?
I asked Valdez this yesterday. Yeah, Setzer.
Doesn't ring a bell.
What? Sabine, Jan, Edgar. You didn't play 3.
I did play 3.
Final Fantasy 6 in North America.
Oh, is it 6? Oh, I didn't play 6. Sorry, dude.
I'm done. You know what? Let's talk about League of Legends here. 25 seconds until the Infernal Dragon.
Oh, I feel like I've really let you down.
You did.
You did get the name of the game wrong, though.
So
I just
swiped left.
That was the problem.
Atlas, okay? I just swiped left.
Well, so did Lehens. You got the hell out of there. Didn't want aiming at all. Trade some blows, but Freecs still getting the push on. Tarzan getting chased by this volatile Spiderling. And Keen is going to regroup with his team. This is all a fight around the Infernal Drake, and Lehens, if he takes any more of these shock blasts, he's not going to be able to start the fights with that quickening, as Corki have to keep his health bar relatively high up as well. He wants to be able to go check him with these rockets.
And here's the thing about the second Infernal Dragon is it will really dampen the type of scaling that Griffin's team composition has going for it if Afreeca does manage to get it. Okay, we're just going to decide the game here at 24 minutes over an Infernal Dragon.
Looking for it. True Shot Barrage only lands onto Sword. Still keeping this one leashed. Tarzan taking a lot of damage. Zenon dives in. Dread's going to steal away the Drake, but now can they steal the fight? Viper is going to grab the first kill to start this one off. Everyone going golden in the middle of this one as Sword gets the reset on the World Ender. Dread taking so much damage from that Blade Caller as Sword is buying so much time, so much space, but it's not enough. Aiming finally finds his moment, finds his opportunity. The Blade Caller again is huge as Chovy gets the flash, but Aiming still at full health. Tarzan running for the hills. When is that E going to be off cooldown? The Inspire comes in. Aiming does find the autos. The triple kill on this Ezreal. And he's even able to get in here to get some free autos on the inner turret as well. Afreeca may have just blown open this game.
Yeah, they just completely blew it wide open. 3,000 gold lead almost now with 2 Infernal Dragons. Let's take another quick look at the fight. So Griffin, they're committing to this really hard. Dread manages to come in there, steal it away. Sword doing his damnedest, but unfortunately for him, the Elise went golden. He couldn't quite do anything. Aiming, just putting on a clinic onto the Griffin backline. They're all posturing, waiting for Sword. We did get confirmation right here that the fur was in fact from Corgi.
Yeah, he got his revenge.
He got his revenge right there as he turned around, but it did cost him his life.
It did.
So that's like a Disney movie ending.
Feeling a bit anime as well with that particular Ezreal skin after the 3 kills.
야, 여기 자야 조심해라, 우연아.
자야 피 없어, 자야 피 없어.
Kill it, tank turret.
Yep. It is Yukal, certainly the bus driver so far today, because he's been on Karma duty for the last couple of games. And hasn't been doing a lot of damage, but he's been allowing Aiming to smash people.
Come on, he did a little bit more than Galio.
Hey, that's true.
Don't count him out
He also
here.
did more than Zinzao.
Yeah, he did.
By a lot.
They, all 4 of them probably did less than Dragon, but that's okay.
That's true. Afreeca now positioning around the Baron. 2 Infernals will mean those conversations about scaling that we had are getting murky. A little bit of a worry here is pretty murky. Okay. Like a swamp. There's Senin waiting over to the side, does have that heroic entrance availability, so if Dread is caught out, then he gets to press R, Dread presses E, and it's a gargoyle delivery system. Waiting here, Senin. The sweeper out, but isn't actually able to clear out that ward.
Talon Aiming now just trying to push in mid lane. And Afreeca, all that they need to do is figure out some way to get the Baron. They had a lot of advantages, but if they don't do anything with it, and I mean, this has really been one of the issues here in all 3 games.
Yeah.
Is the team that gets the tempo advantage, they get everything going for them, they don't find ways to force the enemy team to fight them, and so we keep playing ping pong. Now, normally, Atlas, when this happens, I like to bring up something called freezing.
Oh, yes.
Which the Karma could have just selected not to. So now, top lane's going to be ping pong back and forth.
Is there something to be said for not freezing here because it's the top lane and you can get that minion wave over towards your enemy's side for extra Baron vision?
Well, without the Mountain Drakes, you can't really burst the Baron that fast.
Yeah.
Freeca team comp, unless Jace is there as well.
My cup is half full, though.
Okay.
So that's why I'm bringing these
Your
things up.
cup is half full. Mine's always half empty.
I know.
You know? But when you combine them both,
we get a full cup.
You get a full cup.
Oh, beautiful.
That's amazing. That's how that works.
You've been coming up with some pretty wholesome analogies so far today, and I rate it.
You're inspiring me. you know the is it what is it called? The guy that holds the earth on his back?
Atlas, yeah.
But that's not what you're named after.
No.
Different spelling.
Different spelling. So I'm named after a moon around Saturn or a Japanese video game company that made snowboard kids, among other things.
Right.
Well, Afreeca not actually able to get too much other than this wave pushed in. Griffin standing around, a lot of vision available for themselves. They have inroads to get to this Baron pit. Afreeca hasn't been doing a great job denying vision around here. They're not that far ahead. And now we've got the 3-item spikes coming in for Viper and Chovy. If they're ever able to actually get some auto attacks onto their opponents, they are going to rip them apart. There is so much damage in Viper and Chovy's kits right now.
this is the part of the game where I would say that Griffin is ahead, but it is really close. The only reason that it's close is because of the 2 Infernals.
Oh, we're going to force another Drake here as well.
You see that? You saw the strip fleet, right?
Yeah.
You saw how the dragon popped up before the dragon was actually consumed.
You may be thinking that that's our observers putting up our fancy little dragon counter that's a little bit bigger than the natural one, as Viper has to Featherstorm. That's a good pick off there from the Afreeca Freecs. Continuing to play out with a lot of aggression. Dread now getting Sword out of here. They don't want him to go for any sort of flank, and also they want to buy time for Keen to push here on this bottom side. In a turret, it will be the 5th going down. As Senna now down to half health. Rockets aren't going to find the mark as Worldender has been popped. Sword has committed, but he's just not finding anything, and now it's Afreeca Freecs able to turn it right on their heads. Miscommunication from Griffin as the Inspire shield is gigantic. Oh, makes it look like someone's playing Locket Sorcerers here on the side of the Afreeca Freecs. Can't find any joy though. They do have so much control now at this stage of the game.
Yeah, not quite sure what Sword was trying to do there with the Worldender. I mean, he sort of just yelled. He wanted to really put the thing to the experiment. You know, if a forest or if a tree falls in a forest, anyone around to hear it. So he just wanted to yell into nothing.
We heard it.
We did hear it.
And we watched it. And, yeah.
All right.
If you got low standards,
your eyes doing?
they're not low enough, I don't think.
I'm going on our eye bleach after that one. I'm going to need to see some kittens.
Oh, God.
Some corgis, apparently.
We need Lost Boy's Twitter right now. It's an emergency. If you're not following Lost Boy, he has some of the best adorable cat pictures all over his Twitter. Shout out to him as Lahen's going to find the grand entrance. Zenin going to get the Justice Punch there. Huge shields, but not huge enough. And that's just the pickoff onto the Galio. Sword now trying to turn this one around. Aiming is still very strong as Chovy trying to get in position. Speaking of in position, Sword, he is going to be able to have the revive. I believe that's his GA though, as the Worldender wasn't actually able to be utilized. Does go down. And the Jace picks up the kill as well. Flashes onto Chovy, who does have a lot of damage available. He does need to be careful as Dread takes down the jungler. Viper is still alive. Chovy's still alive. The Featherstorm is going to be there, but Griffin are just too squishy. They can't stand up without any of their frontline members available.
And now it looks like Afreeca, they're going to turn their attention towards the Baron. Tarzan not alive, neither Sword. No teleport available either. This is going to be the Baron going over to Afreeca, and I really think that might be all that she wrote.
Yeah.
For Griffin, because their team composition is not designed to wave clear or realistically fend off Baron all that well.
Not to mention the way they've been playing has been so slow, right? They haven't been able to push any of their advantages, and they have had them. So far this game, it's just been the Afreeca Freecs dictating the pace of this one, and aiming, playing hyper-aggressively on this Ezreal. And yeah, they lose Sen, but I mean, he's support Galio in patch 9.13. I mean, it doesn't do that much anyway. And aiming certainly does. Even the acceleration gate placement was really, really cool there.
Yeah.
And working well with the Inspire from the Karma, just a whole lot of extra movement speed, not to mention 2 Cloud Drakes as well. A lot of speed. As Keen just doing his job here. He's just booping people back. He's the CC that the Afreeca Freecs need. And now Griffin find themselves cut between by this Afreeca squad. Team with the Shock Blast doesn't find it onto Tarzan. Afreeca are still able to just clear out vision.
And well, this Baron, it does convert into the next Infernal Drake, so that's going to be 3 Infernals for Afreeca. And so with all the poke that comes out of the Ezreal and the Jace, it's really going to hurt.
Yeah, last inner turret's going to go down as well, so Griffin trying to cling on to any semblance of map control is becoming more and more difficult as this game goes on. Afreeca are getting that suffocation in there. The suffocation wards are down, top side of the map. They can freely walk through the Griffin jungle. Griffin certainly cannot. See all of those wards littering there if you cast your eyes down to the minimap. Now this wave is going to crash into this inhibitor turret, and Griffin really do need a last-ditch effort on this team fight. Lahen's in position. That is spotted out there by Keen. True Shot Barrage means that the Aatrox has to go back to the fountain, and that's just as the inhibitor goes down. Griffin, just no triggers to pull. I mean, I feel like they have to, but what are they going to do? What is the option here if they're going to have their front line just chunked out this whole time? And Griffin watch as their base falls apart.
It looks like Afreeca, they're going to keep playing this super safe.
Well, I mean, when there's a third Infernal to just go and pick up, you may as well go and pick it up, you know?
Well, Dread heard you. He's going up the water spout.
Yep.
He's going to come down with the dragon. That's really weird. That's not in the story.
That's not how that one works. It didn't start raining. It started dragoning.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Well, it's raining for Griffin. They got the open Drake. So.
But they did manage to get this pick up onto Keen potentially, but no, the hero's entrance is going to come down. Keen's still very, very low, but no World Ender Joy is going to come in, and Keen had that stopwatch plus a gigantic Inspire Shield coming out of UCal. Afreeca did manage to get the turnaround, and Viper, not enough Feather Storms, going to keep him alive after this one. Afreeca have done it. First it was Gen G, now the Afreeca Freecs have beaten Griffin in back-to-back games, and it reminds us of what happened, I believe, in the spring season towards the end. That was exactly what happened to Griffin heading towards those finals.
Right after the long break, too, is what ended up happening. So, Griffin, they're going to fall here today, and Afreeca pick up a much-needed win.
They did.
It's against one of the big dogs in the league right now.
And it does mean now that Sandbox and
no, it's definitely not. And they're going to have to get everything together because there's also going to be another huge meta shakeup coming soon. I keep talking about it, but I really can't stress how big that patch is for the Korean meta in specific because Korea is so unwilling to adapt and move.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
What's going to happen during all the chaos with such a big patch just on the horizon?
And which are the teams that are going to benefit from that one as well? I mean, Sandbox has been a faster team. We've got Damwon and Kingzone yesterday were super fun to watch because of the high tempo.
I feel like it could really hit Griffin and SK Telecom in particular. Those are two of the teams that I often heavily criticize for unwillingness to change their drafting approach.
We have to say as well that we do have the giveaway that is going to be upon us. I believe we'll do it.
Get your clients open.
Yeah, get your clients open, get your screenshot buttons ready.
Get your full screen on.
Yeah, it'll be, we'll do it after the MVP interview.
I believe right after the interview, there's going to be the League Partner Program, Arcade Kaisa, Chroma, Skin, and Champion giveaway.
Yeah.
There's 3 codes for NA. After the Gen G versus Hanwha Life Esports, there will also be 3 codes for EU West.
So it doesn't matter. If you're from Europe or North America, you're going to be happy. Unfortunately, I don't have the Oceanic skins to offer or anything like that.
I'm giving these skins away here.
Yeah, it is. This is LS. This is the low standards that's here with the presence.
This was one of the weirder things here, where he repels up, but then he forgot, oh, I have to go back down.
Yeah.
There's nowhere for me to actually click away. So had he flashed first, we'd have a better chance at getting away right there. This was another blunder by Afreeca. Their teleports are a little bit off synergy. Elise busy eating Agatha before pathing up into top lane, doing a ring around the Rosie with the Aatrox that you can see on the minimap, and then...
It was a really nice escape from Tarzan, or from the rest of Griffin to get Tarzan out of there, but in the end, I mean, after that moment, you'd think that Griffin could use that as, you know, the ability to gain some momentum. Didn't seem to matter, though, because Aiming had about 1 billion shields. He, in fact, arcane shifted over a rocket. But should Chovy have really fully disengaged this when he does have some rockets to offer for the damage? I'm not entirely sure. This was a Griffin that was a little bit off kilter, just playing way too defensively when they had their item spikes, man. They had the Corki with the 3, they had Viper with 3, but it felt like one Ezreal was enough to counter it all.
Ezreal backed up with the 2 Infernal Dragons, and also just the way that Griffin was positioning for a lot of the fights and taking them. I mean, all 3 games, both teams were sort of doing that. They were taking very wonky team fights at awkward timings where people are separated or they weren't the cleanest. But in this case, if that happens, it's going to benefit Afreeca.
This was basically the deciding fight. As the steal on the Drake. You mentioned it before. You said, well, I guess we'll decide the game here. And they most definitely did. Afreeca with a great team fight.
so bizarre because even if Griffin wins the Infernal, it can come at the expense of all their lives, in which case Baron is a very real, scary threat.
Yeah.
And that was, it was Corky getting some revenge for the coat that Jace had. That's what that was all about.
Can't believe it. Fur coat on Jace.
I'm glad that we got our answer though.
Yep. And then Yukal and aiming, he had this call in the game. Just tank the turret, take it down. He's got all of the Inspire shields that he needs. Back-to-back games on the Karma. You can see Yukal's back to his former self from earlier on in the season, where he was so incredibly excited. Even if he is playing the Karma, still feels like the heart and soul of the team.
Yeah. And so now Sennen on our screen, running over to the left-hand side. He's going to play something down.
Something interesting was said there, but we didn't quite hear it. Yep, that's a fair bit of damage.
Yeah.
Doubling the damage of an opposition Corky feels good, man.
Korean Ezreals they're able to do stuff.
Well, aiming's actually starting to make a name for himself on this Ezreal pickup. I mean, it was a bit of an off Ezreal performance in the Jin Air series, but this was a hard carry performance out of aiming today. He played very, very well, and of course he had to. In a composition like this where you've got a Karma, they want to be buffing up one of the other players, and that had to be Ezreal this game. And aiming ran with it and ran over the top of Griffin.
And Afreeca, they can feel satisfied with the win. It ends up taking 3 games to do it, but Griffin definitely looking very bizarre here in tonight's series. And with their previous loss as well, have to wonder how they're going to be feeling aiming.
809 damage per minute is pretty good.
Is it?
Not bad.
All right. I'll take your word for it.
Yeah. I wouldn't give it a death Ezreal just yet, but certainly still good.
You know what I just noticed about the Corky? Have you noticed that the Corky skin, the wings, I think the Ukrainian flag, right?
I have
it's like
no idea.
Teal and yellow.
I haven't seen the Ukrainian flag very recently.
So I'm getting my flags wrong. I am from NA, so you're going to have to forgive me.
Yeah. Do you have flags for each of your states? You might be able to remember those. Do they have flags?
I actually think they do. I don't know them.
Neither do I.
I could fail a NA citizenship test. I'll tell you that much. Okay.
Well, I mean, you haven't been there for a very long time.
I haven't been there for a long time.
You're basically Korean at this point. I mean, how old were you when you moved here to Korea?
I moved here
like 2011, right?
Ago.
네, 어느새 3연승 달리고 있는 아프리카
He was a young
moving into my mid-20s.
Speaking of young people, we have an MVP interview. So let's throw it over to Ji-sun for some translation.
Thank you very much, guys. Let's hear from the top and bot laner from Afreeca. It was not an easy game. How was today's match? Well, I think game 2 was also a winnable one, so feels a little bit bad, but I'm really happy and feel a bit of a relief that we won game number 3. And aiming, I saw you doing a pose after game, so are you satisfied with your performance today? Well, because we won a strong team, Griffin, so it feels really nice. Kiin, you played Jace in game number 1 and 3. So, which means your Jace is equals to victory. So, is that relevant to team's victory? Well, Jace has a lot of skills and mechanics to do in team fights, so maybe I was a little bit lucky. I think the draft and the mind game between each teams were really intense. So Griffin actually went back to the composition they used in the Gen G series, adding talent. So what did the Afreeca players said about their draft? Well, we actually didn't expect talent to pop up from Griffin. However, we didn't really pay too much attention, or we weren't really that concerned. And Kiin, your Jace is always going up against a lot of opponents. So let's go through one of the highlights. So over there, you were just going in for 1v3 and actually solo killed. Well, I know they had more players on their side, but they weren't really that close or grouped up. So if I landed my QE, that combo, that could have been easier, but I wasn't really that concerned. Yeah. But game number 3 went back to Afreeca's hand. And we saw Azure Gallia competition for 3 games in a row. So any thoughts on that comp? Well, a lot of support champs were banned out already. So we just went to the confidence peak. And aiming, their Azure was got up the poke. So let's take a look at the team fight near the Infernal Drake. So tell us about your positions and all of the other stuff going into team fights. So I used my arcane shift to go dash over the wall of the Dragon Pits. I think I was feeling a little bit very comfortable doing damage over there. So we could see you dashing forward a lot. Do you feel any pressure about making mistakes? Well, back in the days, a lot of people were flaming me about making mistakes, but nowadays, my coaches told me to just do not pay attention what other people say, so I feel a little bit more like, I feel less pressure about making mistakes now. So Afreeca picked up victory number 6, so any resolutions for round 2? Well, if we lost today's game, we were falling down to the 7th place, so it's a big relief, and we're just going to do our best to take another victory in our upcoming series. And aiming, how are we going to prepare for the KT series coming up? Since we won KT, so I just want to defeat KT as well to start our winning streak. So this will be the end of the interview with Keen, aiming from Afreeca Freecs, and I'm going to hand it back to our casters. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ji-sun, for your translation as usual. And now it is the time you've all been waiting for, your opportunity to get your hands on a Kaiser skin of the arcade variety with Chroma activated. I know. All thanks to our friend LS.
Get your clients ready.
Yep. We're gonna check out the standings first. We're gonna check out the standings first, and then we're gonna be putting some codes up on your screen. Griffin have fallen to 2nd place outright. This was their opportunity to tie things up with Sandbox, and they would have extra points there, but unable to do so after falling to the Afreeca Freecs. And Afreeca Freecs now looking to widen the gap between themselves and Gen G. Gen G able to even it out once again with a victory over Hanwha in our 2nd match of the night.
Well, Afreeca, they can feel pretty comfortable getting this win, like I said a little bit earlier, because it's not one that many people would have expected that they could clench. It can come in handy.
And these are your codes, guys. We're going to be closing the show very, very soon, but make sure you get a screenshot up, and may the fastest copy-paste a win, I guess.
What line would you go for?
I'd probably go for 2.
I would go for 3. I would just go for 3.
I don't know which the best one is.
Because you would think that people might just go for 3, right? So
yeah, it's like either you go first one or the 3rd one, and it's like, oh yeah, let's get straight in on the 2. All right, well, half an hour, guys, and we'll be back for Gen G versus Hanwha.